What's up, y'all? Clean Cuts the One back with another video, and this is the first tutorial that you have seen me do since probably like my first 3 months of being a professional barber. The last tutorial I did, I was at somebody else's shop. I had just been recently licensed, and I was just now really learning how to cut hair. To be honest, I got the wind at my back. I'm feeling really good about the channel. I love where everything's going right now. So one of the things that I want to offer is how to cut videos or tutorial videos. If you guys are interested in that, I want you guys to give me some feedback, because what you're going to notice here is a couple things. You're going to notice that this haircut video is a little bit sketchier. It's definitely sketchier than the other videos that you've seen because, one, I don't have my best camera out. Number two, the color is off. Number three, I don't have the angles down. All of those things, in my opinion, are very important aspects of a good haircut video. However, I'm not even sure if my audience wants to see me cut hair. You guys have liked the reviews. You guys have been following the journey from the beginning. I think young barbers want to know that they can start from nothing and make it to something, that they can climb the ladder in this industry. And, you know, I think I can communicate that. I think I can do a pretty good job of giving you guys the information that you need by sharing my experience. However, I haven't tried haircut videos in a long time, so this is me giving you guys my best effort at a haircut video. I hope you guys enjoy. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. Go ahead, before it even starts, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the notification, so that way you'll know when I'm dropping new videos. And let me know what you think in the comments. I'm really interested to find out what my people are thinking about the haircuts. I'm very thankful for the support and appreciative for the people who leave the positive feedback, but also I'm appreciative of the critical feedback. So having said that, I'm really grateful for everybody for taking time to watch this video. Check it out. For this cut, I'm going to start with the shear work. I'll start with the shear work on basically all of my haircuts because it allows me to know where the fade needs to come up to. This is going to be a finger length top. He likes it combed over in the front just a little bit. So I always do my shear length in the middle, and then I do one side and then the other side. And then once I'm done with all my shear work, I'll come back across and cross check and make sure that everything is nice and even all around. After I'm done with my shear work, I'll grab the blow dryer, and what I like to do is blow the hair into its finished style. I like to separate the part and have the hair laying where it's going to be for the finished look. And you can see that there's kind of a guideline there for me to follow when I go to set in my guideline here in just a minute. So I'll blow dry the hair into the finished style so that way I can know where everything needs to go. And the next thing that I do is I go ahead and put my hard part in. I like to put my hard part in and razor it out in the beginning, so that way when I'm done with my finished style, when it's time for pomade in the hair and stuff like that, I'm not having to come back and mess through a finished cut to razor something out or to clean out a hard part. I know a lot of people do the hard part first, or excuse me, I know a lot of people do the hard part last as like a finishing touch, but I like to go ahead and put the hard part in, razor and everything from the beginning. And if after the haircut's finished, if I see that the lines need to be cleaned up a little bit, then I'll just come back in with my razor and clean all that up again. So now I'm putting in my guideline. You can see where I cut with the shears. I know where my guideline's going to be. So basically what I'm doing is setting up my fade. This is going to run me all the way up to my 1.5 guard open. And so I'm just angling the comb, trying to create some graduation from where the hair needs to fade into the scissor cut. And I'm very careful right here around the crown. You always want to drop it lower because you don't want to cut that crown off. So I set my guideline lower so that way the finished look, he'll still have a crown. And now I'm going to my number 2 open. That's usually what I clear bulk with, and I'm just going to get rid of all of this bulk on the bottom. Basically creating a clean canvas to work with all the way around. And guys, forgive the color issues that I'm dealing with. We're just getting started. So now I'm doing this with the X Ergo from Gamma, and I'm setting in my guideline with no guard with the clipper open, which is the equivalent of a half. And I'm one of those barbers that I do one side of the head, then I do the other side of the head, and then I bring everything together in the back. So that's how you're going to see me doing this, is setting in the guideline on one side of the head, then I go to the other side, and then I bring in the back, and it helps me with symmetry. I want to make sure to keep the guidelines nice and clean, make sure that everything is even, and there is a slight flick out at the top to help with the blending later on. And I like to do my tapers first. Like right now, I know that the only thing, the biggest guard up to that guideline is a no guard open. So I have all of this room to do my temple tapers and my neck tapers. So I went ahead and balled it out. Now I've got the no guard closed, and then I'm going to do one click up, and then I'm going to bring it a little higher, and then I'm going to do another click and bring it a little higher, and so on and so forth until when my clipper is all the way open, I know that all of the hair below that guideline is a no guard open. So putting in my tapers before I put in my next guideline really gives me freedom to work with the whole canvas that I created by clearing that bulk and then going with that no guard open on the bottom. It's just a good time to go ahead and put those temple taper blends in there and the neck taper, because if if you're like me, sometimes you don't know how high the taper needs to go specifically on the temples. And so if I do it now, this says, hey Tyler, keep everything below this guideline, and the haircut's going to continue to blend like you want it to. So coming to the temples, exact same process. Trimmers, then no guard closed, and I still kind of function with the closed, middle, open. This is me actually testing out the X ergos, but on the wall seniors that I use a lot, I do closed, middle, and open for my fading steps, and then everything in between kind of helps me detail it. But that's what I'm doing with these as well. I'm doing closed, middle, open, and then the two notches on my arm in between closed, middle, and open, those are for detailing. But it's a pretty standard, pretty simple taper, just staying below that guideline. And so now I've got my one guard, and I like to open it one click to put in my guideline. And so all I'm doing is setting in a guideline. And you notice I'm just doing it on half the head, because again, it helps me with symmetry, it helps me with the blend. And so now I've got the one guard closed, and I'm using the corners of the teeth to take out that bottom line. And again, with the system that I use, it's closed, middle, open, and everything else helps me detail. So I'm closed right now. I'm going to click it to the middle, and you can see that I'm bringing that guard up just to the middle of where the fade is. And then I'll click it again, and using only the corners, take out the top of that guideline. And then I can detail what I've missed later on when I come back. So now I go to a 1.5, almost all the way open, to put in this next guideline. And I'm being very careful to stay under my shear work. I'm very careful to stay under the ridge where I put in my guide with the clipper over comb from earlier. And then I'm going to go to my one guard open. And the reason why I'm doing this is because it's kind of like fading down. I basically just clean up the canvas again, because I like to work on a clean canvas, and then I'm going to close it all the way, and I'm just going to start working the bottom line of that guideline out. Just working on the bottom till I see it dissipate a little bit, and then I'll click 2 clicks to the middle, and I'll begin to just work the middle. And the reason why I work like this is because it helps me establish like a foundation, and then the details at the end. I like to get the closed, the middle, and the open on there. Then I can come back and see what needs to be done. And then I'm going to run through the same things over here. You've got the one closed, and I'm just setting in that guideline. And then I'll come back in with the half closed and start working on that bottom guideline. just with the corners. You can see the line pulls out pretty easy with these X Ergos. These were a good clipper. I really did enjoy using these a lot. And you see me going back and forth between the babyless blades, or between the babyless guards and the gamma guards, and that's just me checking them all out. So I just ran through the same system from the other side on the bottom. Now I've got my 1.5 guard all the way open, doing the exact same thing I did on the other side on this side. Again, it's about symmetry for me, and this is how it helps me. I've got this 1 guard all the way open, cleaning up my canvas. Now I'm going to close it all the way. I'm going to start knocking out that bottom line with the corners of my teeth. I'm going to open it halfway, come up higher, and then one more time, open it all the way, come in to the very top of that. Now I've got my 2 open, and I'm coming right off of the parietal ridge, just trying to create that, finish that guideline and stay under the shear work that I had done earlier on, because I don't want to mess with that shear work. This is the 1.5, just running through the same system. Close, middle, open, just trying to bring this shadow fade together. Now in the end, this is where I just bring it all together. You know, with the 1 open, I'll go to the half, take out the bottom line, then I'll go to the middle, and then all the way open until that line's gone. I'm just going to make sure that as I'm blending that I do not come into that crown, because I want to deal with that crown with shears. I want to make sure that my shears are detailing the crown, so that way, because if you take the crown off, it'll end up sticking up. It's not going to grow out right, and it's not going to style like you want it to. You want to cut the hair so that way it does what you ask it to do, and that way it's not fighting with them when they get out of the shower. So now I'm doing shear over comb. I'm talking like I'm hitting 5 hairs at a time. I'm just taking care of the loose hairs that are sticking out right there, specifically on that side, because that hard part side, that's where the blend doesn't go all the way up. There's still a little bit of shear work to be done, just delicately. And I'm going to go ahead and hit this 2 guard because I see a little dark spot. And there's nothing wrong with touching up as you go. There's nothing wrong with missing stuff as you go, just as long as you come back to get it and you give out the best haircut that you know how to give. So now I'm coming back with the shears and just trying to blend and touch up that where that hair is combed over, because you want it to blend when it's styled seamlessly. You don't want to have like a ledge there. So I'm just coming through with the shears and detailing that crown, because I don't want that crown to be, I don't want it to stick up. I don't want it to look like a clipper cut right there at the spiral or the swirl. So with these edge ups, I see a lot of different edge ups in a lot of different places. A lot of them are crazy, super sharp, and that's not a bad thing. We actually do a lot of those. On this particular cut, I don't want his lineup to be extravagantly sharp. I'm going to make his taper on the back of his neck pretty sharp, but on the front, some of these guys that come in, they're not looking for laser beams on their foreheads and on their temples. They just want nice, good, clean haircuts. So I take care to get rid of the vellus hair that's on the forehead and on the sides of the head. I put a line that says, hey, this is a groomed haircut, but I'm not trying to win a barber battle with this lineup. It's not a crispiest edge up competition for the front of their hair. I just want them to look nice, neat, and groomed with the services that I provide specifically for this cut. There are some dudes that come in and they want that, and when they want that, you spend a little more time. You pull the skin a little bit tighter, and you spend a lot more time with that razor. And that razor is really where the edge ups come together. You can see I'm just bringing that symmetry together with this temple. You can see how I did the taper in the beginning, and all I have to do now is line it up. I've just got to bring the symmetry together, and then I will hit it with the razor, and that's just what works for me. That helps me get my tapers, it gets them landing right where I want them to land. So I'll clean him up with the razor, and just the razor makes all the difference. It's the razor for me. And then I'll style it. I'll focus on the part, the bangs, and then make sure the pomade gets in the rest of the hair. And then I'll just comb it in place to where I want it to look. Starting with the part I want to make sure that there's a clearly defined part, and I want to make sure that all the hair lays where I cut it. So I'll pull the comb all the way over to the other side to make sure that everything's laying exactly where I need it to lay. And that's it. That's the shadow fade hard part from Clean Cut Grooming Lounge. He was very happy with the service, and I really enjoyed doing it. All right, guys, there you have it. Short, simple, and sweet. That's my first haircut video in a very long time. Please let me know what you think in the comments. If you like the content on the channel, The Barber Journey, the reviews, go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell so that way you can know every time a video is launched. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Till next time, peace.